genetic effects of the radiation, and in short, the radiation interacts with the cell. So there are two types of effects. Once the radiation enters into the matter, particularly a biological cell or a biological tissue, there can be two effects. One is a direct effect, another is an indirect effect. But in both these effects, there is some primary damage is there, and this damage can be repaired by as per the tendency of the cell. But if the damage is severe, then it cannot be recovered at the early stage, and there can be a cell death or there can be a modification in the cell. So the modified cell can turn into a stochastic effect, that is nothing but the cancer or even the genetic effects, while the cell death means it is the deterministic effect. This is the radiation given in a very short time to a particular tissue as such. And deterministic effect can be a skin burn, it can be infertility, it can be hair epilation. But let me again say that these effects occur only when in case of any accident or where the radiation is very much unsafely handled as such. And such effects are, of course, very low probability while handling them in a normal way as such. Before understanding the biological effects, I would only like to emphasize on this one, that the unit of the radiation which we measure is in terms of a gray. Like we have a unit for length as a meter or mass as a kg. So the energy deposited by radiation is measured in terms of a gray. Because there are different units are said, I will not like to confuse you, but the important one is absorbed dose, because we are much bothered about this, and this is nothing but a gray, so that you will understand the next slide that there are some biological effects. Like if it is less than 0.1 gray, then there are no detectable effects. While if it is above 1 gray, then there can be a chromosome aberration, and then various type of effects of radiation are there when they impart energy to the cell. Now, I will come to this important slide that when patient undergoes any particular diagnostic examination, so he receives this much dose in gray as such. Like CT abdominal, it is about 13.6. The gray the patient receives, and this is as good as equivalent to about 500 to 700 chest X-ray examinations. So this is a very important. So when the patient undergoes any radiological examination, one has to be very careful that the machine is operated safely. Its all safety features are used, and a trained operator is available for this, because every radiological examination imparts some dose to the patient. So if you take even the CT chest, it is giving about 7.9, so 8 milligray as such. And but of course here the patient gets the benefit either in the form of a diagnosis or in the form of a therapy. But one has to keep in mind that this dose should be kept as low as reasonably achievable. So, see, in view of this biological effects of radiation in case of its improper use, so there are some objectives of radiation protection, and the most important is to prevent any deterministic effect. Deterministic effect has some threshold that minimum if this much dose is received, then radiation can cause some damage like the skin burns, and to reduce the probability of the stochastic risk. See, stochastic risk is always there with the radiation whenever it is handled. So we have to see that the stochastic risk is minimized. So with this objective, we have all the regulations and the safety procedures as well. So the basic principle of radiation protection is justification, optimization, and dose limits. Justification is very important, where the benefit of use of radiation outweighs the risk. Here, the careful referral of X-ray examination is very important by medical practitioners. So when we refer some patient for X-ray examination, so one has to be very careful. I mean that whether there can be an alternate, some procedure is there to diagnose the element or the problem. If it is not there, then only we should, see that he is referred to the X-ray examination. So X-ray examination should be a very last, some sort of a recommendation by the medical practitioner. We call it the referral criteria. So one has to ensure it that really he requires the X-rays. That is nothing but a justification. So clinically one has to justify that patient really requires justification. And then comes the part of optimization, where the radiologists or interveners are available. They can set the machine parameters. Then the X-ray technologists can have a proper alignment. And so that is, and the machine is type approved by Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. So this comes into optimization, and we have the set dose limits prescribed by Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, where every radiation, occupational radiation worker or person has to work within those limits as such. Now, ensure all these radiation protection objectives and principles, the government, President of India has constituted the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, and it's a National Authority for Radiation Protection. And the mission of the board is very focused to ensure the use of ionizing radiation and nuclear energy in India does not cause undue risk to the health and the environment. So wherever ionizing radiation like X-ray is used, whether it's in medicine or industry, so one has to see that it does not cause undue risk. So starting from a small dental X-ray till the nuclear power plant, these all principles are applicable, and ARB has to ensure this mission. And of course, the Chairman Atomic Energy Regulatory Board is the national competent authority for enforcing this radiation protection regulations. So, because of to ensure mainly the safety in use of ionizing radiation, so license in accordance with the Atomic Energy Radiation Protection rules from ARB is a mandatory requirement. Wherever the X-ray equipment is being used or CT machine is being used, then they require a license from Atomic Energy Regulatory Board before putting into the operations of the patients as well. And since these X-ray equipments or cancer hospitals are widespread across the country, and it is difficult, or I will say that not very effective if we control it from only Mumbai. So we have 3 regional centers where our officers, experts are there, and they provide the regulatory surveillance and radiation protection advice to various hospitals as well as industries spread across the country. So we have the regional center at Delhi, then Mumbai, and Kalpakkam and Calcutta. What ARB does, so ARB has defined a regulatory framework under which there is a legal powers to the competent authority for making rules and notifications, and we issue the safety codes for ensuring the safe operation of the radiological equipment. And we have like a code on radiotherapy, then code on nuclear medicine, code on diagnostic radiology, and these codes prescribe the syllabus of the medical practitioner, qualification of the medical practitioner, technologies, as well as the safety requirements. And it is mandatory that these codes are available with the institution. And we have an electronic licensing system for accrediting or for giving the license to various X-ray facilities or to various hospitals, so that it is an online registration of the institutions, electronic submissions of the application, they can try online, and then electronic approval is given. In fact, this is the first unique system of e-licensing developed by ARB and implemented by ARB, and this is the first in the world, for which even we acquired special small government award in Delhi. So we thank again Chairman ARB for supporting in developing and implementing it. And then, as I said, the dose limits, so there are safe dose limits which have been given by Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. So if the occupational worker works within these dose limits, then he is considered to be working in a very safe profession as accepted by the society. So the risk because of the radiation is totally a minimal if the occupational worker works within this. And there is, of course, even the public dose limits are there for ionizing radiation. Then another important aspect in this is that reporting of suspected occupational exposures. So this problem we encounter mainly in the diagnostic radiology, where the interventionalist or cardiologist carries out some procedures, and during the procedure the patient is all the way in the beam, in the X-ray beam, and he doesn't use the safety features like putting of the beam whenever he doesn't require, or some sort of this minimum time for scanning by X-ray, he doesn't follow, and because of that there are excessive exposures received by the medical practitioners. Patient is definitely receives during the process, but our concern is that receiving the dose by the medical practitioner, because the interventionalist medical practitioner definitely improves the quality of the life of the patient. He saves his life, but what about the life of the medical practitioner? So this is the concern for us, that his life also to be protected, and that is why there is a challenge to ARB for minimizing or preventing such excessive exposure cases in diagnostic radiology, because in other applications we don't have much concern about this. So radiation protection of patients during radiological procedures, so there are various challenges. I will not go much detail into this, but like in radiotherapy, we have higher potential patient load per machine. Say as per the international practice, there can be 25 to 30 patients per day, per oncologist. But here, if you see the number is very large. As a result, we have a very few number of oncologists. We have a few number of the X-ray equipments, and this requires some sort of enhancement. And then there are like implementation of a comprehensive audit, then infrastructure for calibrations, lack of training programs. on which we all are working very hard because it's a teamwork, and we are working with our stakeholders, working with the experts of different organizations. So in radiotherapy, but the main challenge is the higher patient load per machine. If you take a nuclear medicine, there are again also few challenges are there on which we are working, and mainly the equipment linked manpower in nuclear medicine, like nuclear medicine physicians, nuclear medicine technologists. So their syllabus, training programs. Also we are working on this. I will come to the mainly the diagnostic radiology again.